The new video, Evan, gives a much clearer look at what happened in the moments leading up to the shooting. I'm wondering what stands out to you as the suspect runs through that security checkpoint as we watch it again.
Right, Anderson, this is a much clearer view, and one of the things that I first looked at was this seeming what appears to be an interesting interest by the canine officer in the top left side of that video. This is where the alleged shooter is coming from a lobby area that's sort of like a red carpet area before you enter this larger lobby, and the canine officer stops. The dog appears to be interested in whatever is happening out there. We don't know whether there's an interaction. We don't know whether there is something that catches the attention of the officer, but that appears to linger for about 5 or 6 seconds before the shooter, the alleged shooter, runs in, and that is, I think, a very interesting part of this, because we don't know what happened there. Presumably, if there was some interaction, prosecutors by now would have told us, but I think that is something that we're going to have to learn more about. Now, as you pointed out, the circles that the Justice Department has highlighted on here indicate, according to them, where shots are being fired. So the first one, you see the large circle, is what they say is the shot fired by Cole Allen. And then you see 4 of the shots that they say were fired by the officer who they say was shot by Allen. Now, one of the things we don't know is how far down the hallway he gets to in the lobby area, because that is out of this shot. But what we know is he appears to fall. He perhaps trips on his own as he's making his way, and then the officers all get on top of him and detain him and arrest him. But that really shows you, a couple of things too. What we had heard from the day that this happened, Anderson, we heard that one of the things you notice is the body language of the officers there. They appear to be very relaxed. Obviously, the dinner is well underway. The president is in the ballroom. They're taking down one of the magnetometers, and so the attacker has all of the element of surprise. He takes them completely by surprise, and with the speed that he runs through, he's able to get very far.
And what else are you learning about the suspect's movements around the hotel? I mean, we've seen some of these videos as well now, the hallway and the gym.
Right, and we know that according to prosecutors, he began planning this about a month earlier. He checks into the hotel the day before, and clearly, according to the video that they've now released, he makes a walk around to try to familiarize himself with it. Now, the hotel also has an entire video presentation of that lower lobby area for the ballroom, because obviously it is one of the marketing videos that they have for the event space, right? It's a very popular event space. And so what we know is that he cases, according to prosecutors, the entire area. He goes into the gym, and you see him walking up and down the hallway, and then we see him walking down about 20 minutes before the attack is carried out, down the hallway in the other direction. One of the other things, Anderson, that I think may explain why maybe he didn't attract initial attention. He's wearing a black coat, he's wearing a black shirt with a red tie, so he would have looked perhaps like one of the wait staff. All of what prosecutors say went into his planning for this event for more than a month.
Well, they certainly do seem relaxed, Anderson, and I understand that can be a little bit complacency, but I still think at the end they did the right thing here. The issue is thousands of people went through those magnetometers to get to the dinner. They're already downstairs. I think the Secret Service is anticipating the departure later, and it makes it easier for when they're leaving, they don't need the magnetometers in the way. Just, you can see that no guests come through in the whole time that we're here. So I don't have a problem with them starting to downsize that area.
Well, they'll examine every moment of it. As Evan said, the initial contact or closeness of the officer with the canine is going to be a matter of discussion. The one officer, if you look at the video carefully, that one officer actually saw the threat before he entered into the magnetometer. And by the time he was in the magnetometer, that officer had already drawn his firearm and acquired a sight. Very quickly reacted, fired shots, and apparently took a round. Although you can't see the flash from the shotgun, it sounds like that's when it happened. But the bottom line is, you have to pay close attention. It's probably not a good idea to spend time taking down the magnetometer. I understand why they did it. They didn't have the crush of people anymore, and one was sufficient. But there were 2 officers there that were completely distracted by that. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of review of this and changes into procedures. But all in all, that outer perimeter worked. Sometimes these things aren't pretty, but they went the way they were supposed to go.
When we got to court today, we believed that this was going to be a detention hearing. We expected that the defense was going to contest detention, and then the hearing begins, and the defense says, no, we're not contesting detention. And it appears that the government wanted to present a whole bunch of this, of what we're now seeing, Anderson. And so the judge ended up calling everyone to the front of the courtroom. Our Caitlin Polance was there, and she described a very spirited conversation with the judge. What's interesting is that the government appears to have been intent on trying to get this out. They were denied by the judge a chance to put all this presentation on the record in court today. And so it's rather interesting that the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia decided to go on Twitter, on X, tonight to surface some of this information. Again, all of this normally would have been presented today in court when there would have been a contested detention hearing, but then that never really happened. There was no contesting of the detention. So it appears that the government really wanted to get this out. And I think one reason might be, Anderson, is because online you can see people have been speculating that perhaps there was friendly fire, that the officer may have shot himself. All of those things were circulating, and I think that might be why they were so intent on getting this out there.
Trophy photos are very, very common in sexual assault cases. People who think that they want to document what they've been able to do because they think of themselves, as some special person that's doing something special. They want to get it all down sometimes on paper. But clearly, this guy was documenting himself and wanting to use these things or have them used by the media in the future to show what he did and how smart he was in dressing like he did and things like that.
播报新闻是我的日常，必须时刻保持妆容和皮肤的最佳状态。当来到人生中最重要的时刻，也是 KS 逆时奇迹帮助我轻松驾驭，闪闪发光。KS 逆时奇迹活肤露全效精华、精华霜，多达5种 EGF 6大冻龄关键成分，保湿效果让我非常满意，小细纹也不再困扰我。我就是我自己的最佳女主角 ，KS 让我从容自信、光彩动人。我是我人生中的大女主，我的最爱我做主。KS 逆时奇迹系列热卖中，下单请上快点购。透过中天新闻网 App 下单立减50%，或输入 CTI 推荐码有额外折扣。